I truly believe that we all sort of choose to be here, and
Yes.
and that we sort of know our path. We know what we're getting into before we get here. So when you kind of think of it that way, you're like, oh, all right, I'm not doing that again. But
What did I sign up for?
yes.
You're listening to the Spiritual Shit Show podcast with Suzanne Soul, episode 69. Hello, you frickin' amazing wonders, and welcome to the Spiritual Shit Show podcast, where we get into the live action shitstorm the healing and spiritual awakening journey can be. I'm your host, Suzanne Soul, comedian, lifelong spiritual student, and I'm sharing some of the guidance and nuggets I've learned along my journey that has helped me, and that I hope helps you too. This just in, the world needs more women leaders, and everybody knows it. And this is part 4 of this powerful 4-part series celebrating women, healing through stories, and celebrating women rising up together into leadership, with my guest, Lisa Jimenez, founder of SheIsMe Global, a worldwide women's movement creating spaces to celebrate and support women as they grow and connect and step into that leadership. In this episode, we look ahead. Lisa and I talk about what's truly needed for women to rethink our place in the world and how to step fully into the leadership we were born for. In how we show up, how we lift others, how we claim space without apology. Spoiler alert, it's to do it together. Let's do this thing.
This is the Spiritual Shit Show, which of course is like spiritual, just personally spiritual.
Yes.
And I want to, through your journey from, rising from the ashes, what spiritually was like, if you were to look at your journey and your arc, like, what was that coming through? How was that like that freedom experience spiritually in yourself?
Freedom experience.
Like the experience of, I guess I didn't mean to word it like that. Meaning like you seeing yourself going through that horrible time until where you are now. If you were to look at that like as a spiritual journey or hero's journey. Yeah. So like how would you tell that story?
Um, well, so I have a couple of philosophies. I think number one, everything is temporary.
Yes.
Number two, you only know what you know, right? So the mistakes that you make are you did your best with the knowledge that you had at the time. And the journey is about experiencing everything you can to learn as much as you can to get where it is that you need to go, right? I truly believe that we all sort of choose to be here, and
Yes.
and that we sort of know our path. We know what we're getting into before we get here. So when you kind of think of it that way, you're like, oh, all right, I'm not doing that again. But
What did I sign up for?
yes. Um, but then that you won't need to experience this stuff. And when I sit down, I had a mentor once that told me like your life is like being in a car on the highway, right? And some people get in the car with you, and some cars get on the on ramp and get right off the next off ramp, and some stay on the freeway with you a little time, and some cut you off, and it's like this really great analogy of
Yeah.
so. And I think like, oh, you're getting in the car with me, Suzanne, because we're doing this, yeah, we're doing this thing. And then other people like you're like, hey, pull over on the side or get your ass out of my car, like we're done,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But it's a journey, and
Yeah.
everything that I've experienced, I'm grateful to have lived through it, to survive, and to learn what I've learned from that experience so that I can now teach others, so that I can now show others. So when I think about there's lots of times when you're in those situations that it's not so bad because it's just normal for you, right? So when I think about when I was a kid, yeah, there were some really terrible times, but most of the time it wasn't so bad. We were out playing kick the can, parents
Right.
didn't care where we're,
Yeah.
we were out with our friends and, um, we kind of always knew what we were going to have for dinner because my mom wasn't that good of a cook. There were lots of things that were great about being
Yeah.
a kid
Of
and how I
course.
grew
Yeah.
up,
That's good.
my sisters and stuff like that. But when I think about it, like I wouldn't be where I am now had I not experienced all of that. And
Yeah.
I know, like deep in my soul that I'm doing what I was put on this planet to do.
Amen.
That I spent years trying to figure out what my purpose was, and I bought worksheets on Etsy and I hired coaches and I did this and I did that to sort of find my purpose because I
Mm.
was so lost
Yeah.
for a while. Like my purpose can't be doing marketing for another webinar about this enterprise decision management software, like can't be my purpose. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
so so one day I had done you do vision boards. You
Mm.
board?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep. I have.
yeah. And
So vision board is,
a vision board is you could do it on a piece, you could do it on Pinterest if you want. But you're
yeah,
really just putting things, mine's right there, so I'm looking at it. You putting things there that you want to achieve or that you want to
pictures.
buy. Pictures, right? Pictures are
Yeah.
words. Like mine says
Yes.
"People rise by lifting others. Uh, women's retreats. I am an empress building my empire.
Yes.
Right? I have do what you love what you do. And one of the things I have there says, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader.
Yes.
As I was, and I've had this for a couple of years, but as I was sitting here thinking, like, what is my purpose? What's my role? And I remember looking at that and I'm like, I'm a leader. And have been thought of by others as a leader.
That's right.
And I was like, that's really like, can I call myself that or does somebody else
Yes.
call you that? Right.
Right.
But then I started really thinking, I do have this knowledge and I do have this experience and I can teach others and I can guide others and I can mentor others. And isn't that what a leader is?
Yes.
So how can I then help other women step into that? How can I support them in their journey to become the leader that some other women might need?
Yeah.
Because we all need that. And that was something that I didn't really have. Like, you have mentors and role models for specific things in your lives, a grandmother showing you the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we need more women to do that.
Yeah.
And so how do I then, and this is sort of the transformation of She Is Me, how do I then enable in a good way women
Mm.
into leadership that other women need? Because oftentimes we don't know what we don't know.
Right. Yes. That is so huge. How did I not know that? Because you didn't even know that you should know it
Right.
or that you could know it.
Right. So how do we then, and I'm not saying I know everything and I can like the end all be all leader of everything, but I do know stuff and I
Yeah.
do want to help and I can show you the way in certain areas. And that's what I'm my
Your
dog's
cat,
trying to
your dog.
um so but I also, have an amazing network of women around the globe that are all doing amazing things and like you and joining
Thank you.
together with these
Yeah.
women to show, like, be a beacon, right? And
Yes.
show other women the way and know that they're not alone. They don't have to do it all by themselves. And if you don't know what you don't know, hey, jump in the car with us. You know,
Come on. We're driving down the PCH.
we're driving down the highway and we'll tell you things. We'll share
Yeah.
things.
So I just want to ask one question, and that is, we talked about the trad wife and this whole kind of patriarchal grab. I'm calling it a last grab.
It is,
The
isn't it?
idea, yes, the idea is that, we were all in the midst of a big shift that, the energies were shifting to bring more inclusivity, more fluidity, women, becoming more on, the same level in the hierarchy. And that, that is why everything is occurring that is occurring with
Absolutely.
all the taking away women's rights and da 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 da. And then also this trad wife phase, and in my mind, they'll get sick of it too. So, but so it feels like it makes what you're doing so much more necessary right now. And so, how do you feel about doing this during a time when there's kind of this attempt, well, they're not just attempting, in some areas they're doing it to pull us back and to pull women back, really.
It's perfect timing.
Yeah,
It's
okay, I
perfect
love
timing.
that.
That's how I feel about it.
Amen.
And for the longest time, I sort of thought, again, what's my purpose? Where am I going? How do I get there? And when am I going to get there? Kind of thing. But the universe has this sense of divine timing, and you just have to sit back and trust it sometimes, even though it's really. I'm such an impatient person. Like, yeah, I want it, and I want it now. When I have it, when I
Exactly.
have the idea, like I just want it. And so, sometimes like today, I had a billion things swirling around in my head, and I'm like, you know what? I need to stop because I'm starting to spin. So I went and made banana bread and the mushroom risotto and some other stuff because I was like, I just need to, you know, what do they?
It is a great way, cooking. I
Yeah, just like
also
just to
just
just
it
to
kinda gets you, yeah, out of your head.
get out of your head. Yeah. So I did
Yeah.
that today, and so I think you're absolutely right that it is this last grab, right? They know that things are changing. It's the end of an era, an end of a age, new age, and it's sort of like a tower moment, right? Where there's like this death of something and the birth of something else, and it's
Yes.
never easy. It's always messy,
Right.
painful, and terrible
Yes.
because
Yep.
those in power, where the power structure is crumbling, are doing everything they can to hold on. And that's what
Yep.
we're seeing right now.
That's right.
Um, and so I think this is perfect timing. I think there is a hesitancy of so many women because they're so used to the structures that be. So you'll see, and we see this a lot, boss babes and like these very like somebody asked me a couple days ago about I'd made a comment about boss babes and this upholding the patriarchy or being power adjacent in what they're
Yeah.
doing. They're like, well, and I'd made a comment about marketing and funnels and this and that, and they're like, funnels are patriarchal. I said, no, funnels are patriarchal. Funnels are a system. That's not
Yeah.
what's patriarchal. What's patriarchal is the urgency and the lack and the if you don't do this now and you're going to make $10,000 and all of
Right.
these
Yes.
messages instead of ease and flow,
Mm.
right? Instead of ease and
Yes.
flow, and what should come to you is yours and you should attract instead of beg. This whole thing of you remember Gordon Gecko and greed is good and get out there, do what it takes to get whatever you can, grab it all
Yeah.
and do it all and
Yeah.
now and
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of, hey, come with me, get in my car,
Yeah.
let's go do this, right?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
completely different energy,
Yeah. The first one is all about control,
all about power and control, all of
all
it,
about power and control.
right? And that's
And,
the patriarchy. It's power and
and that,
control.
and like you're saying, we have as women believed that story of
We have bought
we
into
have
it.
to play this power and control game because that's the only game in town.
We
but
have
it's
bought
not.
into it. Yeah, we have bought into it. We have adopted it. We have tried to fit into it. And what happens
Right.
every time we do? We get crushed. We do
We don't
not.
fit in there because we are too expansive.
Right. I mean, we even wear suits, right? We even wear
Right.
suits.
Right.
Try and match that power structure
Right.
for respect
Right.
and authority and whatever else. And it's like, really? Like, who's, yeah, it's complicated, but
No,
but
I get it. It's like if we're not being ourselves, we're out of our power.
exactly. You're
And so
absolutely right.
if we're trying to be in the world, their false world, which can't be based in reality because there are no spaces for women there and we exist.
Exactly.
So they've created this false world of where there's a hierarchy of men and because we're being told that's the only game in town, babe. That's
It's the only game
get
in
in
town.
the only game in town. And that's why I love what you're saying.
Yeah.
We're making a new table.
Yes. So we're building our own tables. We're
Ugh,
not we're not we don't need an invitation to yours. We don't need to play
yes.
your games. We don't need to fit into your systems. We don't need
Yes.
to ask for
Mm,
permission from you anymore
so
because we're going
powerful.
to go over here. We're going to do it. And I call it the storm surge, right? Because the patriarchal male dominant way is to fight. Is to
Yes.
fight for what you want, right? You hear that all the time. You got to fight for what you want. You got to get out there and get it and take everybody down along the way. Just get there. And
Exhausting.
yeah, it's not only exhausting, but we're never going to win fighting
Right.
them.
Right. Control is not going to bring the flow of the energy of life into our lives.
Right. So why would we fight you? We're not going to
Yeah.
fight you.
Right.
Go over here and
Yes.
we're going to do our thing
Mm,
outside of your world. We're going to go over here and do our own thing and build our own systems that work and come together and be at peace and everything else. And then
incredible.
the next thing you know, just like a storm surge, your house is going to be underwater and we didn't have to fight for it.
Sorry, suckers.
Sorry. But
I
yeah,
love it. I mean, that is it. It is so it. And it's like no one, I'm not going to say no one because I don't know that, but I have not yet heard a woman and an organization with that as the platform because that is sustainable. That is expansive. That is a movement.
that's a movement and that's what we call it. It's more than it's not a conference. It's not, it's a movement. It's a
It's
movement. And
incredible.
now we have this ecosystem to sustain so many different paths and so many different ways to help you rise up and help you be that, not only that leader, but to use your voice, right? Because
Mm,
that is something that we have been taught to speak when spoken to,
yeah.
to shut up and listen,
Be careful what we say.
careful what we say, don't rock the boat, like all these things.
Yeah. Don't
Oh,
offend anyone.
yeah, yeah. If you're offended, that's your problem, really.
That's a you problem.
That's a you problem. If you're offended by anything I say. And I mean, I don't go around purposely offending anybody. And
Yeah, of course. Of
never have.
course. Yeah.
No, but there are people like that. But I've never been that way. And
I mean, you are creating something so incredibly positive. It is completely out of what you're doing that you would be like, go out of your way to try to make somebody's day more annoying.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just, I mean, I can't even imagine that. Yeah. It's not, doesn't go, and it's not an alignment
It's not an
with who
alignment.
you
It's not
are.
my thing anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather not say anything than, than and I learned a long time ago. I mean, I grew up, just like just like just about everybody, judging and shaming
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
all of
yeah,
those things. Look at her clothes and look what
yeah,
she's
yeah.
doing.
Because we were putting all our power externally. I have to have superiority over the people around me so that I don't feel like
As equal
I'm
as them.
less.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm less. And
right,
and 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 when we turn, and it's just like it goes along with what you're doing. When we turn inward and when we build internally, that is what actually affects change in our lives.
right, right.
And
And
you're doing that on a mass scale.
I'm a big advocate of minding your own business, and that's another thing, like the earlier question about, how do you decide what to talk about, what to say? It's like, is it any of my business? Are your
Yeah.
potatoes any of my business? They're not,
Yeah. Yeah.
So kind of think about that. Like, is it any of your business what she's wearing? Is it any of your
Right.
business what she's promoting or what she's talking about, whether it's her experience or not? Is it really any of your business? If it's not,
Yeah.
shut up. Really.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
mind your business. And
Yeah.
if more people just minded their own business, like the world would be just that one tiny little thing.
Yes. Pluck the beam. Pluck the beam from your eyeball
Pluck the beam.
and pay
Yeah.
attention to the motes. Oh my gosh. I mean, this has been such an honor. I'm so honored that you came on my show.
I'm so glad you done. I mean, I was like, have me on your show because I wanted to talk to you.
Oh my God. I already like, yeah, I'm like so grateful that however I ended up on the She Is Me conference, I think I was like, I need to be a part of women's leadership. And then I was like, there it is. And I was like, oh my God, she let me in.
Like, this lady wants to talk on my conference. Yes.
It was so, I mean, just let me say that, I'm just in that moment right now. It was such a self-esteem builder for me when you were like, yes, join us.
Huh.
That made me feel so good. It's like, even
Oh,
if we're confident,
yeah.
help lifting each other up. We still all need that. And it's like, what you're doing is so incredible, is so incredible. I admire the shit out of you.
You.
I do. I like am just in such admiration of your journey, of what you're doing with the She Is Me movement and the conference and the speaks and the workshops and the studio and the building and the
All the things.
creating
All the things.
all the things. And so, I mean, I just cannot wait to share this. And like I said, I'm just so blown away at what you are doing.
Thank you.
And I am so honored to be a part of it. So it's sheismeglobal.com.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
like the leadership. That's the
That's the leadership. So if
overarching.
you're looking to get involved in a more long-term way with the She Is Me movement, She Is Me Global is where you want to .com is where you want to check out. She Is Me conference if you'd like to attend a conference, if you'd like to be a speaker one day at a conference
Or a summit or,
or a
something.
summit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look through all those things.
Yeah, then
I
website.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And is there anything else you'd like to share yourself? Because I'm I'm just going on and on and on.
No, I mean, again, thank you so much for having me and giving, sharing your platform with me. I appreciate it. The
It's a
more
joy.
that we can help, I mean, that's just been the something that I'm always thinking about that's in the back of my head every single day when I'm doing this work is how can I make a bigger impact? So the more I can do and the more I can get out there and the more I can talk with people like you and be have another audience to hear how we can help anyone listening to create an impact, I want to do it. So
Amen. What a joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being on the Shit Show. And look out for She Is Me everywhere.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap on my 4-part series with the incredible Lisa Jimenez. Her story, her work, and her vision are a reminder that women don't need permission. We need community, clarity, and the courage to show up fully. If something in this series stirred something in you, follow that feeling. You can check out SheIsMe Global at SheIsMeGlobal.com, and you can also look for any women-led organizations in your local area as well, and get involved. If you have something you can teach or share with women, let's get out there and let's do it. Because together, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. As always, this has been the Spiritual Shit Show podcast. My name is Suzanne Soul, and I would like to thank you and your amazingness for listening. And I will see you on the next one. Roll it, you frickin' gorgeous motherfucker, you.